Agarwala of Invest4edu, who joins in now with some trading strategies. Aditya, that's the million-dollar question, right? Is there any reason for this market to break above the trading range? 16,800 seems like a firm line in the sand on the downside. On the upside, unable to get above that 17,500 mark. What's your best guess, and what are the ideas for the rest of the day?
Good afternoon, Sonia. Thanks for the show. I believe we are approaching the time when we will eventually break out of that range, because it's been almost 2 weeks that we are trading in this narrow band before 17,400 and Sonia at 17,200, which Nifty needs to take out decisively, which it hasn't done so in last 2 trading sessions. And as you mentioned, on the downside, 16,800, 16,900 is acting as a key support area. So I believe markets are trying to farm a bottom around these areas, maybe a temporary one, too early to call it a permanent bottom yet. Maybe a temporary one, and I believe once it starts to trade beyond 17,200 is where we will see when we will see a decisive up move on the markets, at least till 17,400, 500, the level that you mentioned, and maybe if that is taken out, then beyond that. At the moment, I would avoid trading in the index because it's become very choppy, to be honest. Though VIX is pointing towards some kind of a stability coming back in the markets, it is cooling off. But again, it is becoming difficult to trade the market. So at the moment, I would avoid trading the markets, especially the Nifty and the Bank Nifty both. Maybe if it starts to trade beyond 17,200 decisively is when I will look at getting into the market long. Having said that, yes, there are pockets which are outperforming.
Okay, go ahead, Aditya.
Yes, Ekta. So as I mentioned, there are pockets which are outperforming, and as Mangalam pointed out, mid caps are outperforming in trade today. So cement is something which is catching my eye. Most of the cement stocks are doing well for itself. The entire basket is doing well. So JK Lakshmi Cement is something which is looking very attractive on the charts. I see a clear breakout from a downward sloping trend line. Volumes are good here, so one can go ahead and initiate fresh longs for a target of 810 on the upside with a stop loss at 720 on the downside. The second stock is Alchem Laboratories, something which has witnessed a decent correction and now breaking out of that consolidation. So traders can definitely latch on to the stock at 33.50 on the upside with a support on the downside at 32.30.
Okay, all right, Aditya, we're going to let you go on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and giving us all of those cues on the technicals. It is definitely positive news which has come in on Z Entertainment, where Z and IndusInd Bank have reached a settlement over the insolvency issue. And this is basically under the settlement agreement. Z has paid the first tranche of the settlement amount today itself. Apparently, the settlement has taken place this morning, the settlement agreement. We're going to get Ashmit to talk more about this, but as you can see, the stock is reacting positively. Stock is up around 2%.
So it's off the highs also because, this was all largely expected because of the conversations that were going around before the NCLAT hearing that there would be a settlement already. So now the big trigger to watch out for will be the NCLT hearing, which will happen in a few days from now, and that will be on the merger of Z and Sony. So the NCLAT hearing was largely digested by the street after the overall order was passed, and then there were reports that they are reaching settlements just the way they have paid their other creditors as well. The question now is, with the NCLT hearing, is the merger on track or not?
Okay, so at least there is one positive piece of news, which is, and maybe, one sort of stone which is out of the way for Z. But nonetheless, the stock is up around 1.5% off the day's high, like Mangalam mentioned. We'll take a short break. Be back with more. Stay tuned.